Good morning, students. Today we are going to talk about a topic called as innate and adaptive immunity. So we are going to look at the two types of immunity, innate and adaptive. So before that, let us refresh some facts about this subject. So basically, immunology is the branch of science that involves the study of the immune system. Okay, so what is the immune system? It's a system in our body which is giving us immunity. So what is immunity? Immunity provides the state of resistance to our body. Okay, so immunity comes from the Latin word immunis, which means to exempt from. Exempt from means what? To not have a particular thing. So immunity means you are not going to have a particular disease. So basically, to summarize it, immunity is the state of resistance or the state of protection given to your body against infectious diseases. Okay, so are we clear on what is immunity? So immunity is the state of resistance or the state of protection given to our body for or against the infectious diseases. Right. So let's go to the next part now. Now, have you ever wondered that every single day we come in contact with so many different types of microorganisms? As students of microbiology or as students of science, you know that there are microbes everywhere around you, in the air, in the water. Okay? So we are literally in a sea of microorganisms. But do we fall ill every day? Think upon it. So I want you to think upon this point for 10-20 seconds. What was the last time when you fell ill? When was the last time that you got some real big disease, not a mild infection? Or maybe you have 5 members in your family. Think, what was the last time when a member of your family was down with a disease? I'm sure that these numbers will be like 1, 2, 3. So these answers prove that in spite of us living in a sea of microorganisms, we do not fall ill every day of our life. So why does this happen? So simple answer we all know is that our body has a system, okay, which is giving us protection against these microorganisms. So what system plays a role in that? I'm sure all of you can answer. Yes? Yes, this system is called as the immune system. So all of you have now understood the immune system, and I think you are very clear about the term immunity. So let us now go to the main topic of this lecture, the two types of immunities. So basically, if you look at immunity, you can divide it into two types. One is called as the innate immunity, the other is called as the adaptive immunity. So in short, what is innate immunity? It is the immunity by birth. And adaptive immunity is the acquired immunity. So what does this mean? So when a baby is born, whatever immunity it has at its birth is the innate immunity. That is why we are calling it by birth. And as the baby grows up into a young child, as an adult, it acquires immunity in this journey. And that immunity is called as the adaptive immunity. So one simple difference. What is innate and what is adaptive? Innate is the immunity which we have by birth as we are born. And adaptive immunity is the immunity which we develop over the years. So that is innate and adaptive immunity. So that's the basic difference. Now let us go to each one of them and little bit let us understand in more details. So let's first take about innate immunity. Now innate immunity is referred to as inborn immunity and is non-specific in nature. So inborn I have already explained to you means by birth. Now let's see what do you mean by non-specific in nature. Non-specific means that if your body comes across a bacteria or a fungi or a parasite like amoeba, this innate immunity shows the same mechanism to protect your body. It's a general mechanism. It does not act and upon what is this bacteria or what is this type of bacteria. Its mechanism remains the same. So it's non-specific. It is same for all types of pathogens. That is the meaning of non-specific immunity. So innate immunity is inborn and it is non-specific. And now there are 4 aspects of innate immunity. So let us see those 4 aspects. Okay. So first aspect is anatomical aspect of the innate immunity. So anatomical aspect means what? By the virtue of your body structure, you are protected by millions of pathogens or against millions of pathogens. I will give you a couple of examples. Look at your eyes. Your eyes, they blink constantly. It's an involuntary action, right? Your eyes have eyelashes. So these are protective mechanisms to see that no dust particle enters your eye. Sometimes if a dust particle does enter your eye starts watering. So that mechanism of watering is the removal of any dust particle from your eye. So that's an anatomical barrier. Okay, so basically anatomical barrier speaks about every part of your body which stops the pathogen from entering. So this protects you, isn't it? Pathogen doesn't enter your body, you are not going to get the infection. Okay, let's take the second one, physiological. So by some chance a pathogen manages to enter your body, then what? Will you get an infection? No. There's a physiological barrier. I'll give you again a couple of examples. Like say for example your skin. Your skin is not very rich in nutrients. Plus it has a normal flora. So you all are very well knowledgeable about the normal flora. And this does not allow any pathogen to grow comfortably in the skin. Or if a bacteria enters your body through your food and enters your stomach is having an acidic pH and the bacteria are killed there. So that's the physiological barrier. Third is phagocytic. If some bacteria or pathogen manage to cross these 2 barriers, they have a third barrier, that's a phagocytic barrier. Phagocytic barrier mainly involves different types of cells. Now we know that immune system has many different types of cells. Most of these cells are phagocytic in nature. What do you mean by phagocytic? It means that a cell can eat another particle or material. So that's phagocytic. And the process is phagocytosis. Okay, I'm sure all of you must have studied about it in the amoeba, right? So these cells, the phagocytic cells, when they sense that there is a bacterial cell, there is a fungal cell, or there is an amoeba cell, smaller cells, they eat them up. And this is how they are protecting our body. Now take for a second thing that the bacteria manage to go past this barrier also. So if the bacteria manages to go past the anatomical, physiological, phagocytic barrier, it reaches your body and starts multiplying. So when it starts multiplying, okay, definitely it releases some chemicals, and these chemicals are different from our body chemicals. So this itself is a signal to our body cells that something has entered the body, and one cell picks up the signal and messages all the cells to come to that point. And all the cells of the immune system rush to that point and they kill the pathogen. This is the inflammatory barrier, a process which all of you have experienced in your life. For example, a simple cut on your skin. So while the cut heals, what you are getting is a inflammatory barrier. So inflammation, the process is called as inflammation. Is a very big and complex process. But right now we will just understand it as a 4th aspect of the innate immunity. So these are the 4 aspects of innate immunity: anatomical, physiological, phagocytic and inflammatory. All of them act non-specifically and they are present inborn with you. Okay. So I hope you are clear with the concept of innate immunity. Now with this, we go to the next type of immunity, and that is the adaptive immunity. As against the innate immunity, adaptive immunity is very specific in nature. Okay, we said what? Innate immunity is what? Non-specific in nature. And adaptive immunity is specific in nature. Now let us see, let us understand what is the specific in nature. So as students of micro, we all know some names of bacteria. So let us say a E. coli cell enters our body and a salmonella enters our body. So innate immunity does not see it as E. coli or salmonella. It will kill it in the same way. But adaptive immunity will identify that this is E. coli and it will have a specific mechanism to kill E. coli, or a special weapon to kill E. coli, and it will have a specific weapon to kill the Salmonella. So that means specificity. So adaptive immunity is specific, means that it kills its pathogen, but after understanding what this pathogen is, whether it's a bacteria, whether it's a fungi, whether it's a amoeba. If it is a bacteria, which type, what? Okay, so that means it is very, very specific in its nature. I hope that you are clear upon the specific aspect of the adaptive immunity. Now, adaptive immunity works in two phases. One is the recognition and response, as I told you. So that is again a part of specificity. Means it first recognizes which is the pathogen and then it responds. Okay. Now, again there are certain attributes of adaptive immunity. So let's see them one by one. Okay. So first attribute is specificity. So that is obviously we have discussed. So in adaptive immunity, all the cells of the immune system which are involved in adaptive immune response, they are very specific towards their pathogen. So let us say, suppose we have a B cell, so which is a example of a cell of our adaptive immune response. You will have a different B cell which will act against E. coli, and a different B cell will be acting against the Salmonella. That means it is specific. Okay. Second is diversity. Now, adaptive immune response is very diverse. Means, let us say for example, we have a 1 million known pathogens, and today suddenly 1 millionth and one new pathogen comes on earth. Our adaptive immune response will be able to tackle that as well. So much is the diversity. Means there is no pathogen whom the adaptive immune response cannot respond to. That is the meaning of diversity. It is very diverse in its response. Third is very interesting, students, and it is very, very important. Immunological memory. So all of you, I'm sure you know what is memory. Memory means to remember. For some of you it is a little bit hard part, but for the adaptive immune response, it is its plus point. So what is immunological memory? It means that, let us say for example, our body got exposed to a pathogen, say Salmonella, for the first time in our life. So the adaptive immune response recognizes it and then kills Salmonella. Okay, so it takes say around 1 week to do it. Now, let us say 4 or 5 years later, once again, we get Salmonella in our body. Okay, we eat some street side food contaminated with Salmonella, and we get Salmonella in our body. Now, the adaptive immune response this time will not take 7 days. It will take only 2 to 3 days. Why? Because it remembers Salmonella, and it will this time work faster and more intense. Third time, it will work more faster and more intense because it retains memory. Innate immunity doesn't work like this. So, to get a more clearer picture, if innate immunity takes 7 days to kill Salmonella in the first time, it will take 7 days to kill Salmonella on the 100th exposure also. So, innate immunity does not have memory, but adaptive immunity has memory, and that is why it can recognize the pathogen on the second and subsequent exposures, and it will give a very quick and intense response. And the last and very important attribute is self-non-self recognition. See, the immune system and its cells have lots of power. Okay, but this power is to be used, the attack is to be used only against the pathogens and not on the self cells. So to understand the difference between self and non-self is very important. Otherwise, immune system will end up killing our cells only. Okay, and therefore the adaptive immune response has a self and non-self recognition. Means what? A B cell can recognize the difference between a self cell and a foreign cell. Or a T cell can recognize a difference between a self cell and a cancer cell. Okay, so the immune cells can recognize between self and non-self. So when they realize it is self, they will not respond. They will only respond against the non-self entities in our body, the foreign entities in our body. So these are the 4 different attributes of the adaptive immune system. So we can compare between innate and adaptive. Eventually in our lifetime, both systems work. Both are important. Because innate immunity is quicker to work, means it is the first line of response, we can say, or defense. Whereas adaptive immunity is more stronger, but it takes some time to work upon. And therefore, in our body, both innate as well as adaptive immune responses are working with each other. Though we learn them separately, they are not separate in our body. They work with each other, they are cooperating with each other, and that is how our immune system is able to give us a state of protection or a state of resistance against the pathogens which we are living with. Okay, so I hope you have understood this lecture well and the concepts are clear. So happy study, and we will meet in the next lecture to talk in more details about each and every aspect of the innate